went to the local sawmill and I got 3 meters length of this stuff. I am going to sand these down with this disc, sandy disc thingy. So I'm then going to layer them all together, wire them all together like that. Then I can forge weld them all together. What's forge welding? Well, it is basically where you heat the metal to a certain heat, like really, really hot, before it melts. And then you hammer the heck out of it so it kind of welds together. But this is what it looks like. We have 7 layers including the handle, which is just part of the blade, I guess. I cleaned everything up as best as I could, and now I'm going to get myself some of that termite sand / clay, and I'm thinking I'm going to mix it a little bit with water, like I've seen with the Japanese sword makers. They pour a bit of clay on top of their tamagane, I think, is that how you pronounce it? And then they pour that in there, and then that acts like a flux, I believe. So I hope this will work. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to take this billet thingy to be, and I have myself here some 50% charcoal powder, 50% termite clay / sand mixture with some water added. So it's a type of a slurry. And what I'm planning now to do, and I don't know if this is the right way to do it, but I'm going to put this, dunk this into that slurry, stick it in the fire, then take it out again when it's heated up a bit, put it in the slurry again, stick it in the fire again, and then I'll basically take it out and see if I can forge weld this together. So that's what I'm going to try. I don't know why, it's probably a bad idea, but I'm going to go for that. I just wanted to show you the actual, what it looks like. But that's all the way, that's heated all the way through. So that's really good. You don't want too much water. Doesn't that look strange to you? That's weird, really weird. I really don't know what that's doing, but I don't know. Let's just heat that up and see what happens. A bit hot. Ah, that's really hot. Look at that! Isn't that really weird? Because it's got charcoal in it, we could maybe do this thing which is called, I've seen a video on case hardening where they put a lot of charcoal into a box, and I think maybe just pouring this clay charcoal mixture onto this is probably going to do the same thing. If I left that in there for 4 hours or 5 hours, I would have, with mild steel of course, I would have a case of case hardening maybe. Pardon the pun. But probably, it's amazing actually. That's what I like about that it's actually sticking to it. It's like a pour on stick thing. I don't know, anybody seen this before, done this before? Tell me in the comment section down below. It's probably already a method, I have no idea. That was a bad idea, I can tell you that. There's all the sand. The charcoal has burned away. Charcoal is gone. Now it's moved. It's definitely not hot enough. This definitely didn't work. So that's good to know. Maybe I'll just try and get it really, really hot by its own and see what happens. Plan B. I just found some white sand that the ants have brought to the surface, or the rain. It just happens and it dried out. and I think that's I don't know, good enough sand. So I don't have that borax. I tried to get the borax in the shop, but I couldn't find it anyway, so that's why I'm not using it. If you don't have it, you can't use it, right? So that's my problem at the moment. Oh no. Alright, let's never mind all that. Let's just quench that for the crack. See what happens. No way. You know what? I actually managed to. Okay, weird. So I didn't manage to weld these 3 pieces, but I managed to weld them to themselves. It's not really that great. You see, there's all these little gaps still in there. That's not really that great. Look, there's even like bits of sand. Let me just bring you out here so you can see what I'm seeing really. So we have bits of pieces in there. See, little grain pieces in there, which is that's not going to work really, is it? And that means that that's not forged well together that well. Let's see if we can open it. So I kind of managed a bit. So there I got one surface. When I was hitting there, that seemed to have worked. And that was hot enough, probably. See? So there. So I managed to forge weld that area pretty okay. Let's just see if that's actually... Let's just see if that's the same thing here. Same thing happened or not. And remember, I quenched these. Oh, that actually did way better. Now, I'm not supposed to be able to pull these apart, I'm sure. But actually, I can't pull these apart. So that's telling me one thing. That's telling me in a fire, with what forge I have, and using wood, that I can maximum just forge weld together 2 pieces at a time. I think I just need to forge weld with thinner pieces. That's my conclusion. I'll try that, and then we'll see how we get on with that, because at the end of the day, if I can make that work for me, I would be really happy to be able to forge weld these things together a little bit. Look, I can just snap it right in half. You can actually harden this, so that in itself is already an achievement to have figured that out. Now, and that is what we have, 2 pieces, so 1 handle and 1 piece, and I'm just gonna put it in the fire, heat it up, and then I'm gonna hit as hard as I possibly can without adding any sand, any flux, anything like that. Having said that all though, I think that charcoal clay mixture is an interesting idea for case hardening. I really do. As I said before, let me know what you think on that. Anyway, let's stick it in the fire and hope for the best. Okay, so if that fire isn't hot enough, then I don't know how I'm gonna get that any hotter. Any suggestions? More than welcome. to see. It's coming apart very nicely. I shouldn't have done that. I really shouldn't have done that. Let's come out here. That's something cool. Yeah, that was probably a really bad idea there. Now this is where I didn't bend it, so I'm hoping to see that actually stuck together really well. So I have managed officially to forge weld together a centimeter. That's it. That's not bad actually. I did manage that. Okay, so it wasn't really, you know, if I had wanted to do that, that wouldn't have been too bad. I don't get it. I really don't get it. Where did I go wrong? Okay, so I'm going to carry on one more time with experimenting with forge welding. I'm going to use the same material, and I might even add another steel, and I'll tell you now in a second why. Now I've cut off the teeth, by the way. This took only like 2 or 3 minutes. It was like really quick. I thought it was going to take a lot longer, so I'm pretty happy with that. Just in case you ever thought it's going to take a long time, it didn't take that long at all. Now, steel apparently is actually not a solid at all. When it's cool, of course, it's a solid, but when you heat it up, you can see it becomes runny. So it has like, so imagine it has like molecules that actually are in movement. Now, what I learned since, and I've learned this from iForge Iron or something like that, it's a forum. I'll put a link down in the description. And basically, what I learned from the guys there is that in order to forge weld properly, you need to make sure that the steel, so one layer of steel, is close enough together with the next layer of steel that these molecules that we were talking about can actually jump from one piece of steel to the next, which I think is really cool. So what does that tell me? Well, it tells me this time I need to not grind it like that and put grooves in there. I need to like really flatten that out. So I have a piece of cast iron which is really flat, put that on there, and then with the angle grinder I'm just going to try and keep that really level so that they all, like the surface area of those pieces are actually really close together. Now you also see people, you know, clamping things together before they MIG weld it or arc weld, and that's basically why they're doing it. You know, nobody explains it to you on the videos, but that's why they're doing it. So I'm just going to tell you. Now, the second thing we're going to need is we're going to have this really clean. So all that rust needs to go. And the third thing is we need to exclude oxygen. And the oxygen is I'm going to use actually WD40 for my first weld. And it's based on the whole thing using kerosene or diesel. And basically it coats it really well, and the oxygen can't get at it, and it has some kind of carbon in it which gets rid of the oxygen. It doesn't allow the oxygen to basically scale it up and prevent a forge weld. So that's basically what I'm going to try. Now I'm only going to use it once. I'm not going to be spraying this onto, you know, heated steel, obviously. Just safety note there, you know, just in case. And other than that, yeah, so I'll get back to you now in a second when I have it all cut up. Also, I'm going to use more wire this time. I'm going to double, triple the wire up and then use it like that because it won't melt. I was worried it might actually melt, especially when I get up to higher temperatures. Anyway, let's get started. So I have a layer of hand saw, carpenter's wood saw, blade, everything cleaned up, and the wood mill cutting blade, stacked, alternating, and thick wire, and really tighten it up, squeeze it tight with a clamp, and now I'm ready to go, and I really hope this is going to work. It's kind of a shame it's getting dark now, but it just takes ages to get everything set up. And I was playing around with other things in the meantime too. I think the moment of truth has arrived. We'll see now. Okay. Okay, so I have this cast iron piece here because it's really flat. I really need a flat surface. This is what I realized as well. Laminating there. The rest looks good. I don't know, but I tell you one thing. This is really stuck on there. It's nearly impossible to get off, especially that last end bit there. But look how clean that is welded. That is incredible. Sorry about that. There you go. That's cleanly forge welded together. Those layers are stuck nicely together. It did move here. You can see there's a little gap there because the metal on top here moved a little bit in that direction. So I need to cut all that away. And once I've cut that away, I'll have a solid block. Now I am going to forge weld it more. This is only my first time forge welding it, and I need to do at least 2 or 3 more. And I want to draw this out. Now what's interesting is I'm going to cut this in half eventually, so I need to forge weld it out a little bit and make it exactly level so I can angle grind this away a little bit, and then I can put another piece of the carpentry tool bit in there as well. Because remember, I have 2 different metals. One is a wood mill blade, and I also have a handsaw carpentry, just an ordinary old carpentry blade. It could be high-speed steel, I'm not sure. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to stick that in there, because remember I pulled that off, so that means that this is wood mill blade and this is wood mill blade. So I need to put another carpentry blade in there to even it all off. And then I can even WD40 everything again, not that it probably needs it, and then forge weld away and build up my layer count, because at the moment I have probably 8 or 9 in there, and I need a good few more. I can't wait. So let's get started. Alright, let's just put that on there flat. No delamination. Brilliant! Right, my toe! I think we're getting there now. This looks to be the most levelest side, so I'm going to probably clean that with an angle grinder. In fact, I'm going to clean everything with an angle grinder now. Alright, here we go. Tiniest billet in the history of Damascus making, but you know, for my first attempt, I am very thrilled with this, you know. It's way harder than it looks. But what I have here now is I've got a carpenter piece of saw, one layer, sandwiched in between our billet. So that's 8, 8 and 1, 17 layers. That's the count we are up to at the moment. I can't go any more than that because there's hardly any material. And if I want to make a small little tiny garden knife that looks fancy with the Damascus, then that's as much as I can probably go for. Time to hit like crazy. At least the wire, when I pull off the wire, it might just come off. See that gunk? That's not delamination, that's just gunk being whacked into. See it? A big layer of gunk. Wish I could just get rid of it. Now, it's gonna come apart. Doesn't look like it. There's one chance, and now I'll get it a bit hotter. Haha. Out. Yeah, maybe it's not delaminating. So I'm gonna let that cool down now and maybe do a bit of grinding and just have a look. Alright, so I'm pretty much, you know that feeling when you're happily exhausted at the end of the day, you've achieved something, and you might have built a whole entire wall and you stand back and you look at it and you think, wow, that's a really amazing wall. Well, I managed to do this, which nearly took as much work as building a wall, I swear to God. But can you see that line going down the center? And can you see on either side you also have lines? Is that part of the Damascus pattern? My feeling is maybe it's actually delamination. Maybe I'm not being patient enough and I need to forge it more. Do I maybe need to grind the sides away? But I'm not going to waste my time making a knife, which is going to take about 4 hours of forging, with, you know, putting in the bevels and putting on handles, well, before that etching it to get the pattern out, which will look pretty beautiful. And okay, I could make this into a test knife and play around with that, but I easily could also just start again, because, like, don't get me wrong, we're getting there. I'm nearly, like, this feels like a solid lump of metal. I think I'm not doing too badly. That WD40, by the way, definitely seems to work anyway. So let me know down below. I'll ask people to like up that comment but just tell us if you know for sure. Okay? And if I haven't promised it earlier in the video, I'll pin this comment up if I haven't promised it somewhere else, because I might have actually. And other than that, that's pretty much concludes this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope it wasn't too long. If you're new to this channel, you want to subscribe, do subscribe, but note that you have to hit the bell and you have to hit the... How stupid is this YouTube? Why don't you just make it easy? You have to hit the push option. If you're not often on YouTube, you have to hit the email option. Sorry, that's how it goes. You know, do if you want, don't if you don't. And you'll get a notification up there in the comment section if you do that, basically, on email. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Yeah, thanks for watching. And I shall be uploading a few more blacksmithing videos now over the next few days. So be sure to check them out as well. Whew, okay, I'm gonna get out of here.